September 16, 2022. The streets were quiet, but Arkansas State Police Trooper Jacob Byrd knew better than to trust a calm night. In the glow of streetlights, a white Dodge Charger stood out, moving with the kind of urgency that never ends well. The way it carved through the lanes was less about skill and more about recklessness, and Byrd knew he had just crossed paths with a driver ready to gamble everything.
We are going west on 6010. West on 6010 University. Speed's over 100. Still west on 6010. Speed over 100, still west. There's a gate at the end of this, and he's coming back out of it. I'll just stay with my car to assist.
When Trooper Nathan Williams rolled in to assist, the chase's closing act was already written. The suspect was arrested without resistance, his night ending in handcuffs rather than horsepower. With the moves he pulled, felony fleeing and reckless driving seemed like safe bets for his rap sheet. This was one of those times when speed only got someone to the wrong destination faster. Some drivers make bad choices, others make career-defining bad choices. On April 20th, 2024, David Arrington was about to lock in his spot in the second category. Georgia State Patrol Trooper Kirby spotted him in Baldwin County, drifting off the road, but the moment the blue lights flashed, the mood and the stakes changed instantly.
Don't do it! Don't do it! Don't do it! This has got to end. I can't let him back on the roadway.
Arrington was pulled from the wreck, still smelling of alcohol, and later found with suspected cocaine in his pocket. He refused to give a blood sample and added resisting behavior to his growing list of problems. This chase was proof that some people aren't just running from the law, they're running from reality. June 25th, 2024 was shaping up like any other summer night for Florida Highway Patrol. That changed the moment a trooper spotted a black Honda Civic parked on the shoulder of Interstate 95, matching a stolen vehicle report out of Palm Beach County. Its hazard lights were flashing, but this wasn't a case of mechanical trouble. The second those patrol lights lit up, the driver made a choice, and it was the wrong one.
car! Stop the car! Stop! Get out of the vehicle!
The moment came when the suspect's momentum hit a breaking point. The space to run was shrinking fast, and the officer in pursuit was about to deliver a move that left no room for another escape attempt. By the time the dust settled, the driver was identified as Morgani N. Otayek, driving on a suspended license. Her passenger, Jose Luis Rodriguez, had 4 active warrants and had even admitted to helping her keep the chase going. The third passenger, Jenny Sue Erb, claimed she had no idea the vehicle was stolen. Everyone was taken into custody with medical checks to ensure no injuries. If there's one lesson here, it's that running from law enforcement only piles on more trouble, and the fourth time isn't the charm. On the night of August 14, 2022, a Georgia State Patrol trooper spotted a black Hyundai Sonata weaving down Interstate 85. At first, the car flicked on a turn signal as if it was heading to the shoulder, playing the part of a driver ready to comply. But instead of stopping, the vehicle swerved back into traffic and gunned it. In a matter of seconds, a quiet highway stop had transformed into a chase at life or death speeds.
Unsuccessful first pit attempt. Unsuccessful first pit attempt. Go take!
Diamond Cooper's night ended in handcuffs while her passenger, Kiana D. Buckner, was released after being checked out at a hospital. Inside the car, troopers discovered a catalytic converter, an electric saw, and gloves, evidence pointing to more than just a reckless drive. It was a bold attempt to outrun responsibility, but all she managed to do was trade one highway for a jail cell. It was late afternoon on November 28, 2023, when Trooper Garrett Bird was rolling east on Interstate 40. His focus was on the Hernando de Soto Bridge, where other officers were tied up on a separate welfare call. But before he could even reach them, a flash of white in the passing lane pulled his eyes to the mirror. A Chevrolet Impala flying well over 90 miles per hour, carving through traffic like it owned the road. In an instant, the welfare call became secondary because this driver had just invited a new kind of trouble.
1037. French. TBI, TBI, TBI.
That driver was 36-year-old Michael Marquis McCall, and his poor decisions piled up quickly a blood alcohol concentration well above the legal limit, an open beer, still sloshing with liquid, no insurance, and not even wearing his seatbelt properly. He was hit with charges ranging from felony fleeing to DWI and reckless driving. In the end, the bridge became the dividing line. One side was freedom, the other was jail, and McCall crossed it in the worst possible way. On December 26, 2024, a late-night traffic stop in Florida started out like any other routine pullover. A Dodge Ram pickup truck was flagged by the Florida Highway Patrol, but the man behind the wheel was not interested in pulling over quietly. The driver, later identified as 43-year-old Rasha Cadron Honors, had other ideas. What began as flashing blue lights on the highway would soon erupt into a high-stakes chase across the darkened roads.
We're good. I hit him.
Right at 85, I'm going down too. Send me a
When the dust finally settled, Rasha Cadron Honors was pulled from the pickup and placed in handcuffs. He now faces the kind of charges that no one can outrun: felony fleeing and eluding reckless driving and endangering the public. It was another reminder that running from troopers never ends with victory. It ends with sirens, steel bracelets, and a court date you cannot dodge. On November 29, 2024, Trooper Donnie Cheers of the Arkansas State Police spotted what should have been a routine violation: a gray sedan creeping by with a busted headlight and no proper license plate. The car was barely legal to be on the road, but that was only the beginning of the problems. When the trooper stepped out to make contact, the driver made a snap decision that turned a small ticket into a night of chaos. The driver was later identified as Mario Biggs, who was rushed to the hospital after his reckless run ended in disaster. His passenger, Andrika Dixon, was detained but released after questioning. With an uninsured, unregistered vehicle and a laundry list of reckless choices, Biggs walked away with injuries and a pile of charges that made a broken headlight look like the least of his worries. On July the 12th, 2023, Interstate 40 in Arkansas became the stage for something far more chaotic than the usual evening traffic. A St. Francis County deputy had already locked onto two gray Teslas pushing way past the limit, and that call rippled quickly through law enforcement radios. As traffic thickened, an Arkansas State Police trooper tried to prepare a spike strip, only to realize the sheer speed of what was coming made that plan impossible. The chase was already writing its own rules, and the road ahead was about to prove it.
Yeah, wait. Alright. TBI, successful trooper, get it?
I got it, busting that tire.
TBI.
TBI, TBI. He hit 24's car. I rammed him.
The driver behind the wheel was later identified as Williams and his passenger as Taylor. Once the dust settled, officers recovered marijuana and digital scales, making it clear this trip was about more than just reckless driving. Turns out their flashy Tesla wasn't even theirs. Williams admitted he borrowed it through a cousin's Turo rental because he wasn't old enough to rent it himself. A high-speed joyride to Dallas for a birthday sounds fun in theory, but this one ended with a criminal record instead of candles. Just after 9 in the evening on September 24th, 2023, the Arkansas State Police lit up their cruisers behind a suspicious BMW on Interstate 30. It wasn't the kind of car you could ignore. A 2006 model rolling with phony tags and a heavy foot on the accelerator. The man behind the wheel, 32-year-old Byron Brown, had no interest in pulling over. Within seconds, a simple traffic stop spiraled into a chase that would tear across Little Rock highways.
By the bridge, just before Scott Hamilton.
The end came swiftly and without mercy. Byron Brown was ejected from the car and lost his life in the aftermath, leaving only twisted metal and unanswered questions. The discovery of a semi-automatic pistol inside the BMW hinted at deeper troubles, but the truth is clear: one reckless decision on the highway can erase every other choice in an instant. On May 14, 2022, Atlanta's highways became the backdrop for chaos. Smyrna Police Department called for backup when a Kia driver refused to stop, and the Georgia State Patrol quickly jumped in. The chase barreled south through the heart of the city, lights flashing and sirens cutting the night air. What should have been a routine stop was about to become a dangerous test of patience, skill, and raw determination.
Practically what happened.
Man, I messed up.
No happening, but
Damn. Come on now.
got the gas coming up 707.
Both occupants of the Kia were pulled from the wreckage and taken into custody without further struggle. They were handed over to Smyrna Police Department, where felony fleeing and reckless driving charges were waiting. It was a stark reminder that outrunning blue lights in Atlanta is never a game you win. It is only a matter of how hard you crash before it ends. Traffic on Interstate 40 was moving as usual on the night of July 10, 2025, until headlights appeared in the mirrors at a frightening pace. Behind the wheel of a Chevy Blazer was 43-year-old Dustin Kirkendall, a man whose judgment was clouded by more than just poor driving. Deputies tried to reel him in, but his weaving path turned every mile into a gamble. That gamble only grew riskier when Arkansas State Police rolled onto the scene.
66 foot roll, 237.
TBI.
Get your ass out! Out of the fucking car! Get out of the fucking car! On your face! Get on the fucking ground!
The end of the night left little mystery. Kirkendall was taken into custody after resisting every step of the way. Suspected drugs, alcohol, and reckless choices stacked his charges sky high, ensuring he would not be seeing freedom anytime soon. For all his bravado, his run ended not with escape, but with siren's cuffs and a sobering reality check. It was just after 4:40 in the afternoon on March 4th, 2024, when Trooper Shira thought he was about to conduct a routine stop. A white Dodge Charger dark windows cruising up Interstate 75. But the second those red and blue lights lit up, the driver made a choice that would turn a quiet stretch of pavement into a full-blown racetrack. By the time it was over, Cody and Williams were taken into custody. Troopers found drugs on the passenger and even more tucked inside the Charger, along with a loaded firearm. Cody's charges piled high: aggravated fleeing with damage, aggravated battery with a deadly weapon, and reckless driving causing property damage. For all the speed he tried to use to get away, in the end, Cody couldn't outrun the law or his own bad decisions. On December 3rd, 2022, the Florida night sky was calm, but the roads were about to erupt with flashing blue lights. What should have been a simple stop turned into something else entirely when one driver decided the rules no longer applied. With the press of a pedal, the chase was on, and every second added fuel to a situation spiraling out of control. Troopers knew this wasn't going to be a patient game. It was going to be fast and dangerous.
They're coming over, state's coming over, you're going to take Cranberry, we're going to be third, we're going up on Latin County, check up the college exit, speed, paid. You stay.
You'll give me space. I'm trying to put it right here.
You're 90, white trapper. Okay, just take a hit. Hit. Stay knocked out. Get us medical. Where you at?
Watch your crossfire.
When the chase slammed to its conclusion, it wasn't the suspect in control anymore. The wall stopped what speed and stubbornness could not. Bird's precision closed the chapter, quickly proving once again why his reputation as a legend in pursuits isn't just a title, it's a fact. For this driver, running ended exactly the way it started, as a bad choice. April 26th, 2024 was just another spring day in Arkansas until the radio call came through. A stolen vehicle was refusing to stop, tearing across Crittenden County with Arkansas State Police in hot pursuit. Behind the wheel of a patrol car was Trooper Donnie Cheers, already bracing for what was shaping up to be anything but routine. What began as a stolen car complaint was now shaping into a high-stakes chase across open country roads.
Roll over. He's on foot.
By the time the dust settled, the stolen vehicle was mangled in a field, and its driver was face down in handcuffs. The charges practically wrote themselves, fleeing reckless driving possession of a stolen vehicle and more. Trooper Donnie Cheers and his fellow officers made sure this one didn't stretch any longer than it had to. It's a lesson that always rings true. The run might feel thrilling, but it never ends the way the driver hopes. It was the night of February 12th, 2025, when two men suspected of pulling off an armed robbery in Kentucky found themselves crossing into Indiana. They weren't just carrying suspicion on their shoulders, they were behind the wheel of a stolen Ford F-150. Law enforcement already had their eyes peeled, waiting for the slightest glimpse. When the pickup finally rolled into view, the calm of a small-town parking lot shattered in an instant.
Lines up ahead of us. Northbound approaching 600 set. Lights ahead. Stop sticks on 600 south. Stop sticks on 600 south. 50, 1050. Stop sticks on 600 south. Stop sticks on 600 south. 1050, 1050. 1050.
The driver, later identified as 45-year-old Daniel York of Evansville, Indiana, tried to bolt on foot, but his run ended quickly in the hands of Austin police. The passenger, 62-year-old Everett Klein of Wheelersburg, Ohio, never made it that far. He was arrested at the scene. Both men faced a stack of charges from stolen property to reckless driving stacked on top of their existing warrants. Running may have seemed like the bold choice at the time, but all it really did was buy them a longer list of problems. In the early morning darkness of September 15th, 2024, the Gandy Bridge was quiet, at least for a moment. Florida Highway Patrol Trooper Kenneth Ray was patrolling the span when a silver sedan came into view, darting between lanes like it owned the road. It was moving fast, too fast, and its erratic path left little doubt that trouble was brewing. What started as a simple approach for a traffic stop was about to take a sharp turn into something far more dangerous.
way down to signal 16. We're stopped.
When the pursuit finally ended, the driver's denial came quick, but the evidence said otherwise. She was taken into custody, her vehicle secured, and the morning sky over Pinellas County returned to calm. The excuse, fear, and bad judgment, a combination that never ends well. If this run proved anything, it is that scared is never a free pass on the highway. On April 7th, 2024, what started as a simple traffic stop spiraled out of control in just seconds. A trooper pulled over a driver who appeared ready to comply, even stepping out of the vehicle in the glow of flashing lights. But that calm was a mirage. In the blink of an eye, she jumped back behind the wheel and took off into the night. What followed was a chain of decisions that would push both her and law enforcement to the edge.
She just took off again.
Driver, step out of the car! Driver, step out of the car!
In the aftermath, the driver was pulled from the wreck and placed into custody on the roadside. She tried to explain it away with talk of gas tanks and excuses, but the reality was hard to ignore. Felony fleeing, reckless driving, resisting arrest, and likely charges tied to endangering lives at triple-digit speeds. Sometimes the most expensive fill-up of your life doesn't come at the gas pump, it comes in the back of a patrol car. It was late on March 2nd, 2025, when a quiet Arkansas night suddenly turned into something else entirely. Rogers police had already tried to stop a black Toyota Corolla that was speeding into oncoming traffic with its lights off. Their chase didn't last long. The driver was too reckless, and the risks too high. But while they backed off, Trooper Surrett was already tuned in, listening to every word over the radio. Minutes later, that same Corolla was about to make the worst kind of comeback.
It's going the wrong way on falling with her. I didn't go the wrong way on falling with her. Bit down listening to your traffic, they have you.
We're headed back north on 52nd now.
Northbound 52nd.
He's still wrong way. He almost hit Rogers. TBI. Unsuccessful, still rolling.
The run came to an unceremonious end, and the driver was no longer just a voice over the radio. Zachary Joseph Lee Kennedy was in custody facing a list of charges from fleeing to theft by receiving. His passenger was taken to the hospital with minor injuries before being released. It's a reminder that in Arkansas, running in the dark is a sure way to end up in the spotlight. That's the end of this run, but it's only the tip of the iceberg when it comes to what we've got coming. Head over to the next video and see how intense things can really get. Thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe for the next pursuit.